This is CES MMA.
We're back live at the Twin River Event Center in Lincoln, Rhode Island for Undisputed 2 live mixed martial arts presented by Classic Entertainment and Sports. And we've now moved into the featherweight division, 145 pounds. We've got a great showdown between two young fighters, relatively new to the professional game, looking to make their way into the upper echelon of the 145-pound weight class in the Northeast, and this is a great fight to do it. It's a real big step-up fight for both guys. Right now, you're taking a look at Boston's Sergio Moran Cabrera. He is 2-0 with one submission victory, fighting out of Y Crew. Real impressive resume. He's beaten Ruben Ray. He's beaten Dennis Paiva, two highly regarded local fighters. And tonight, he takes on Joe Pingatore. Of course, training out of Y Crew, you know what to expect from fighters such as Sergio Moran Cabrera, a good striker, but also has shown the ability to win on the ground as he did against Ruben Ray in August. Correct.
I have to agree with you. You know, when you're coming out of Y Crew, you're a pretty well-rounded guy. You saw Pat Walsh earlier in the night.
You see John Doomsday Howard giving some last-minute instructions. Sergio Moran Cabrera fighting out of Boston, just 24 years old, again undefeated at 2-0. And he has that victory over Ruben Ray, whom he choked out in August here at Twin River.
That's no easy feat. Ruben's tough.
And of course, in his pro debut, beat Dennis Paiva.
Sweetbread's another tough guy. So those were not easy fights.
Both of those fights coming last year in 2012, the first in April, the second in August. So Cabrera has stayed relatively busy during that process as he looks to embark on another potential victory in the 145-pound weight class. Now, his opponent coming in out of Ruckus Fighting, it's kind of an interesting backstory if you think about it. Perhaps Joe Pingatore trying to avenge the loss of his teammate Ruben Ray in August. Now he becomes the next member of the Ruckus Fighting Academy to take on Sergio Moran Cabrera.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. You're correct on that. I don't know if that's the actual issue here, but I'm quite sure, you know, Lights Out is very happy to oblige if that takes place.
In a fight as evenly matched as this one, every little bit of motivation helps. Now, with that said, Joe Pingatore has a 2-0 record, one knockout. This is clearly his toughest test to date. When you compare the two records, Cabrera's 2-0 is a bit more impressive than Pingatore's, but nonetheless, Pingatore is here and he's undefeated, and he's stepping in there. And again, this is probably going to be his toughest test at this early stage.
I'd have to agree with you 100% on that. Again, you know, Joe's coming out of Ruckus Fight Group for sure, but you see the TriStar influence and the Tim Burrell influence in his corner as well. Two excellent schools, two really good fighters going head-to-head. This ought to be a show.
You see William Sugumta, his Muay Thai coach. You see his boxing coach and his
Muay Lao coach. Don't let William hear you say that.
He may put a few moves on me.
Yeah, you know, he'll start kicking and kneeing, and no one here needs that.
Once again, lights out Joe Pingatore from Johnson, Rhode Island, out of the Ruckus Fighting Academy. And the ironic twist here, both of these fighters, all four of their fights have come at Twin River, so they've made their home here in Rhode Island. And you see the packed house, the record attendance tonight at Twin River.
This is amazing. There is no room to so much as turn around.
Many of them are here to see this fight, and of course, the highly anticipated main event between Mike Campbell and Abner Oliveira later on tonight. But for now, it's Joe Pingatore and Sergio Moran Cabrera. This one promises to be a dynamic showdown. Two fighters who are very quick on their feet, willing to strike, willing to take it to the ground. We'll see where the fight goes once they get in there. And now we take a look at the Jim Beam tail of the tape. Again, both fighters 2-0. Pingatore came in at 146 yesterday, fighting out of the Ruckus Fighting Academy. And Sergio Moran Cabrera at 144.5, fighting out of Y Crew. Let's send it down to Bill Carpenter for the official introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Jim Beam bout. We're scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds of mixed martial arts action in the cage, featherweights. Your referee for this bout is Kevin McDonald. Introducing first, to my right, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 144.5 pounds. Representing Y Crew, he is undefeated in 2 professional bouts, with 1 win coming by submission. Fighting out of Boston, Massachusetts, here is Sergio Moran Cabrera. His opponent across the cage to my left, fighting out of the red corner. He tipped the scales at 146 pounds. representing Ruckus Fighting. He is also perfect in 2 professional bouts, 2 wins, no losses, 1 win coming by knockout victory. Fighting out of Johnston, Rhode Island, introducing Joe Lights Out Pingatore. 3 5-minute rounds in the cage, featherweights.
All right, we're just about set for this featherweight showdown. Joe Pingatore in the black trunks, Sergio Moran Cabrera in the blue. Both fighters putting their unbeaten records on the line. And here we go, round number 1. Quick tap of the hands.
Oh, both guys come out. Cabrera with the leg kick and Joe with a nice 1-2 combination.
Yeah, Pingitore's worked a lot on his boxing, Scott, so look for that tonight when you see how he lets his hands go.
Definitely looking for, you can already see he's a little lighter on his feet, a little more bounce. Cabrera working to keep Pingatore against the cage here. Joe does a nice job of reversing it.
Yep, Pingatore drove that knee up, reversed it. Working those knees again to the midsection.
Yeah, both fighters trading knees here. Cabrera reverses Pingatore. An elbow on the break and a knee on the break, respectively, by both fighters. Joe's got some good head movement. There's the boxing you were talking about.
He does. He's not a stationary target at all, Scott. He keeps that head moving. He's hard to hit. It's hard to work a jab against a guy like that when his head's always going back and forth.
Nice left hand by Pingatore.
You really see the boxing training in Pingatore.
Joe's a little short in his distance with those. Cabrera doing a good job covering up with these combinations that Pingatore's throwing.
Anytime Pingatore can get inside, he lets go with 2-3 punch combinations.
Punches and bunches, name of the game.
Get in, get out.
Make them miss, make them pay. Let's keep doing these.
These cliches never get old. Minute and a half into round number 1.
Both fighters jockeying for Ty Plum here. Joe's doing a nice job of keeping his head underneath Sergio's chin, and that allows Joe to straighten up Sergio. Doesn't allow Sergio to throw counters very well. Sergio did a great job on that sweep, caught the leg right hand and swept him down.
Yeah, big right hand by Cabrera puts Pingatore on his back. He gets right back
and
up.
He rifled back up, reversed on the cage. Fantastic job.
That could have been a momentum change, but Pingatore bounces back nicely, back on his feet, throwing those combinations again.
Both guys willing to engage, both guys taking their time, not doing anything foolish. Cabrera lost that takedown. Rear leg kick checked. Joe's head movement, there's your boxing, Mike. Good head movement, good feet, made him miss completely, playing nice, smart angles.
Yeah, you really see the improvement in Pingatore's stand-up game, now working a little bit of a left jab.
Nice straight right hand off the leg.
Does a nice job countering that kick with that overhand right.
Cabrera saw it, came right back with the straight teep behind it. Nice job and scored. I have to give Cabrera credit. There's Joe Pingatore with an elbow through the middle. That hurt him. That hurt Cabrera. Those punches were landing on his arms and his shoulders. I was going to comment on Cabrera's defense, but that's how you break that boxing-type defense, is you throw the elbow right up the middle. Nice left hand by Cabrera, gets Joe's attention with the jab behind it. Double jab right cross and the uppercut. Cabrera with a 1-2-1 in return.
.119 to go, round number 1. A lot of action in this opening round. Both fighters letting their hands go.
Mike, if you notice, both guys are throwing combinations, not one-shot pot shots. You know, they might throw 1 or 2 punches with their hands and they come back with a leg kick. Multiple combinations with their hands. This is really good stuff here.
Yeah, it's not just about trying to land that one haymaker. These guys
Correct.
are putting something, a sense of purpose behind every punch.
Shot by Carrera, nice job by Joe Pingatore with the crossface to stay standing.
Nice takedown defense by Pingatore. Gets his back against the cage. 30 seconds to go in the opening round. A lot of action packed into these first 5 minutes.
Joe's got an underhook, trying to stand Sergio up. Sergio's trying to take that single and run with it. You see where Joe had his foot outside his leg, preventing that takedown. He comes right back with some good combinations. One-two and a left hook by Joe. Then he drops into a jab to the body. There's your boxing. Flying knee. Great job. He's mixing this up beautifully. Rear leg kick, then he goes to the body with his hands. I love the lighter-weight fighters. These guys can go.
Great opening round. Great round for Pingatore. Showing off his hands. He's been working with the same boxing coach who trains Rhode Island amateur standout Anthony Marcello Jr., so you know he's getting great tutelage and instruction. Now,
inspiring as well.
Exactly. You see his coach telling him when he throws in with that kick, that overhand right is wide open. We've seen Pingatore use it effectively at certain points, but there are definitely some openings for some big shots, and in a fight that's so close, maybe one or two punches can change the momentum.
Again, you're 100% right. Corner's giving him just one or two instructions. Great advice. Come back with the straight right hand. His hands are too low, overhand right.
Well, a great start to what we expected would be a dynamic featherweight bout, and it's been as good as advertised between Joe Pingatore and Sergio Moran Cabrera.
Not quite sure how I'd score that first round. It was pretty even. Maybe I'd give it to Pingatore where he landed more punches and he was the aggressor.
I agree. I think him being the aggressor and being the busier of the two might give him that slight edge. Round number 2 of 3. Pingatore right away with the rear leg kicks, following up with the combinations.
Both fighters want to bring it. That was kind of wild by Cabrera. Pingatore's more patient right now, and again, that's the boxing. But you can see what Joe Pingatore is. He's learning his boxing. He's got good head movement and the hand combinations, but his feet are being left behind. He's not bringing his feet with him on these punches. So he's overextending and he's leaving himself wide open to be countered.
Yeah, he's more or less reaching at times, and you're right, that does leave the head open.
But you can see with the boxing, he's improved on it.
Oh, yeah.
He's stepping with the jab, but he's just not bringing it with his right foot all the time. Sometimes he does, and sometimes he leaves it behind. And when he gets better at it, he'll be underneath him every time.
Well, that head movement's been the biggest thing. He's incredibly elusive on his feet.
I agree, yeah. Tough to hit.
Really working to his advantage.
Both fighters throwing lead legs well. Double jab by Joe there. And this is just an exciting fight to watch.
It's been great. Pingatore really has outboxed him for the majority of this fight, believe it or not. Although not too surprising considering both fighters' backgrounds.
These are two striking schools to start with. Not that they both don't know the ground very well. As you saw, you know, Sergio was shooting for takedowns. Nice right hand by Sergio there.
And it should be mentioned that Joe Pingatore was a standout high school wrestler in Johnson, Rhode Island, so he does have that background. Like you said, these guys aren't one-dimensional at all.
No, and that's why he was stuffing the takedown so well. Good hips, good position on the shot. Nice rear teep by Cabrera.
At some point, if this does get to the canvas, we'll see who has the edge.
Those punches and those kicks were just off the mark. They were more grazing than landing. Both fighters still measuring, trying to find that spot. Nice counter by Cabrera with a straight left hand and a rear leg behind it. And Joe nods on him and gives him a, yeah, nice job, I hate you.
Deservedly so, yeah, it was a great sequence for Cabrera.
Oh, Cabrera with a short elbow behind it. Pingatore, spinning wheel kick lands on Pingatore.
He caught him, but didn't phase him too much.
It's got the nose, yeah, he caught him with the heel.
The nose.
Wasn't flush with the chin, it kind of hit the nose.
And so that nose is now bleeding on Joe Pingatore.
Now this should tell Pingatore to pick up the pace because Cabrera's getting a little comfortable and he's starting to really dig into his toolbox and throw a bunch of things out there at him.
And perhaps Pingatore himself got a little too comfortable, maybe lulled into that false sense of security.
It's very possible.
Well, he was doing it, never saw the kick coming. It's hard to see something
and
like that.
this is
coming.
the difference between straight boxing and MMA. Straight boxing, you're only worrying about the hands.
Right.
If you overbox in MMA, you won't recognize the kicks coming. You won't see that kick coming. You won't see a spin. You know, if you overbox, spinning back fist by Joe Pingatore.
Oh, we talked about him maybe mixing it up, and there he goes with the spinning back fist. Great momentum changer if he can follow up on it.
These guys are pulling out all the stops.
Everything but the kitchen sink in round 2. It's been tremendous.
Short elbow by Pingatore, counter right hand by Cabrera.
That elbow really stunned Pingatore. Blood still flowing from the nose. A minute and a half to go in round number 2.
Now Joe's hands are getting a little low. You want to keep those hands up.
It's tough in boxing. You only have to keep them up for 3 minutes. In MMA,
overhand right by Cabrera.
Yeah.
A lot of guys don't understand how hard it is. You know, nice rear leg by Cabrera. Boxers have a different type of cardio.
Yep.
You know, it's different than an MMA fighter. Both cardio off the hook for their sports, but it's just a different type. Boxers more of an endurance, looking to do 10 rounds, 12 rounds. And the MMA guy's looking to be explosive for 5 minutes, but only 15 minutes. These guys are mixing it up very, very well. Spinning back kick by Joe Pingatore, and it misses.
Pingatore tried to use the same.
Cabrera, nice double jab there. Joe stopped moving his head, and that's making him more of a stationary target. Although Joe's catching and parrying very well.
Yeah, that spinning kick really has changed things, Scott, in round 2.
Yeah, it took a little steam out of the engine. Nice wide open right hand with a double uppercut. Now the haymakers come out. The boys are tired. The round's getting late.
Empty the tank in those final 10 seconds.
Switching knees, left elbow by Cabrera. Beautiful. Looking for the takedown, Joe, and that's the round.
Round 2 ends. What a tremendous fight.
Phenomenal.
And we may very well have an even fight going into round 3. I think Cabrera with that spinning leg kick and then the subsequent 2.5 minutes to close the round may have won that round for
I have
him.
to agree with you. I think all of a sudden Cabrera caught that second wind and Joe was a little flat. And if you don't want to call Joe flat, he just didn't have as much of a second wind. Just a shade. It's a minimum amount difference, but enough to win the round.
The head movement wasn't there after the kick. You're right. He became a more stationary target, and Cabrera certainly took advantage. Cabrera's corner fired up. Crew John Allen just getting in after him, telling him to work those shins. I think they feel it, Scott. They may feel the momentum possibly has changed a bit.
I think it put a little wind in his sails. I think you're right.
Now.
I think you're 100% right.
And that's big when you have an even fight going into the third and final round. Whoever's got that momentum going into the last round may have the upper hand. We'll
at least the first half. And as you said earlier, it's a 5-minute round. You know, about 2.5 minutes in, who's ever got the momentum, it can make a big difference. Both fighters bringing their fans up to their feet.
Fans on their feet, a sold-out Twin River Casino. We've got a capacity crowd. Cabrera going for the immediate takedown.
And again, there's the wrestling with Joe. Joe's really pulling on him, trying to get that underhook and pull his head up high.
Pingatore for now has stuffed that takedown.
His corner, Cabrera's corner, is asking him to pull him off the cage and let that takedown happen in the middle of the cage rather than give him the fence to support him with. Cabrera again still working well, both hands underneath the knees here. He doesn't have them under his hips. He has them underneath his legs so he can pinch his knees together so Joe Pingatore can't. You can see him pinching his legs now together so Joe can't pull them out. And Cabrera will slowly work his way up to a mount from here.
After 2 explosive rounds in the stand-up, this fight has finally hit the canvas. And we'll see if this can favor Cabrera.
Knee on the way up, well timed. He did not throw that when he was on the ground or close to it. These guys are really letting it go. This is a phenomenal fight, great fight.
Pingatore and Cabrera exchanging blows in the third and final round.
Inside leg kick countered by a stiff jab.
Nice jab by Cabrera, catches Pingatore in his tracks. 3.5 to go, a long way to go.
Now you see Cabrera leaning down. There was the knee. I don't understand why.
I'm not sure.
Like Joe was tapping his own chest, so maybe we didn't see something there.
All right, for a brief second here, it's been stopped. I'm not sure.
It looks like an inadvertent finger in the eye.
Okay. We know for sure it's not a low blow. We know when those occur. You can certainly tell when the fighter gets hit below the waist, but yeah, possibly a finger to the eye.
Nice knee on the up.
Yeah,
there was the push off.
And Pingatore acknowledging it. Now the doctor's going to step in here and take a look. Cabrera's still kind of milling around with his back against the cage.
If he can't see,
he can't fight.
Then he can't fight. Depends on how deep that finger went in.
This could be a big momentum change.
I don't know if the doctor's calling it. I don't know if he cut his eye off a fingernail. Sergio looks like he's having a hard time even opening his eye. Here's the knee up and the push off with the right hand, and that's the finger in the eye.
Yeah, it was on that push off.
Totally unintentional. That's the fight, boys and girls.
And they're going to stop it. Sergio Cabrera suffers an injury to his left eye.
But it's as a result of an inadvertent eye poke. So it can be ruled a disqualification, although he didn't take the round. He didn't take a point from him. And it quite possibly, look at he wants to go.
Cabrera lobbying to stay in the fight. But I doubt that's going to work.
They might. I don't know specifically if it can be ruled a no contest at this moment. The referee is the one that turns around and says, you know, it was an inadvertent. I'm not even taking a point. I issued a warning. But
now, in that case, would they go to the scorecards?
No, unlike boxing, they won't go to the scorecards. On an incidental foul, on an accidental foul, it can either be a DQ or it can be a later ruled a no contest. Oh. And here you're going to see Cabrera stuck his head down, as I had mentioned. Joe witnessed it, brought the knee right up, and to push off to get his distance to fire again, he accidentally caught a finger in the eye.
Oh, it's certainly be an unfortunate ending to what was shaping up to be a great finish in this featherweight bout.
I agree.
Referee still consulting with Cabrera's corner. As it stands, the fight is over. That much we do know. We're going to see what the official ruling is here between Joe Pingatore and Sergio Moran Cabrera. And again, it would be an unfortunate ending.
Well, obviously it is an unfortunate ending. These two guys are bringing it, boy. Matchmaker, Mr. Matchmaker.
Matchmaker Pat Sullivan does it
again.
Do
this again. Do this fight again. We want to see a couple more rounds of this fight.
The blue corner fighter is unable to continue due to an injury caused by an unintentional foul. So by rule, we'll go to the scorecards.
Wow. I guess I was wrong, which happens all the time, just ask my wife. But in all honesty, this is the first time I've seen him go to the scorecards when it happened this way.
Well, this is interesting because this fight, by all accounts, may very well have been even after 2 rounds, in which case you may get a draw unless they judge the fight midway through the third. Let's send it down to Bill Carpenter and find out.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we will now go to the scorecards. Referee Avery scores the bout 20-18 Cabrera. Referees Lima and Cordero both score the bout 19-19 even. We have a majority draw. It is a majority draw.
Well, there it is. The first judge gave Cabrera both rounds, but the last 2 judges saw it the same way we did, which was even after 2, and it results in a majority draw. Somewhat of a fitting ending between 2 evenly matched fighters that nobody actually gets the win or the loss. However,
let's hear it for these 2 guys. They fought their heart out.
We were on our way to a dynamic finish.
This will be a rematch. As soon as his eye's good, we will have a rematch. Let's hear it. Come on.
Well, CES President Jimmy Birchfield promising a rematch, and I think the fans would love to see it. You and I would certainly like to see it.
Without a doubt. I think the fighters want to see a finish.